Greetings, moviegoers. I am the host of Midnight Movie Madness, and today we are going to be talking about the midnight showing of The Hunger Games. Joining me today is our special guest, Angel Eyes, who happens to be an expert on The Hunger Games, so tell us about the story.
Well, basically, it's set in futuristic North America in this place called Pan Am. And basically, there's this capital that's ruling over these 12 districts. And to keep the districts in line, in order for them not to rise up against the capital, they partake in these Hunger Games. And basically, the winner of the Hunger Games actually gets a year's supply of food. So that kind of puts the basis of where the Hunger Games name actually comes from. And basically, they take two tributes, one female, one male, between the ages of 12 and 18 to partake in a battle to the death on national television. The main character in this is Katniss, and her sister is actually chosen, as you can see from the trailers, and instead she volunteers herself in place of her sister. You don't know if you're going to win or not. You just have to go and do your best and kill a bunch of people.
Your thoughts about the movie?
Well, so far what I've seen from the trailer, I'm just like, oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
I think what's great about the marketing is that they only show you segments that are from the first couple chapters. They don't show you the actual games. You get to see, all the kids running towards the backpacks, and that's it. You don't get to see, kids killing kids, Let's talk about the cast. Who's in this movie?
There's Jennifer Lawrence, Liam Hemsworth.
We have Stanley Tucci.
Oh, yes.
Josh Hutcherson. Woody Harrelson.
Oh, my gosh, Woody Harrelson.
We also have Elizabeth Banks
Yes.
as Effie. You've heard of the movie Orphan, right?
Yes. Yes, she's one of the contestants.
Yes, the little girl from Orphan, the horror movie about the killer child, is in this movie as another killer child. She's really moving up in the world. So, as you can tell, we're really hyped up to see the movie version of The Hunger Games. Stay tuned and hear our actual review, which will be coming up very shortly. Okay, so we just saw The Hunger Games last night, and it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
For a book adaptation, it did pretty well. What did you think?
I thought it was really, really good. It's definitely worth seeing. I did have a few problems with it, but other than that, it's, like he said, a really solid movie, and it's really great adaptation of the book.
The performances were great, too.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence really shines in this movie as Katniss.
Yes, she definitely portrays Katniss well. The way they did it is very clever. And if you've read the books, you know exactly what emotions she's going through right then. But even if you haven't, you can already tell just by looking at her face.
I did not recognize Elizabeth Banks when I first saw the trailers, and I thought she did a fantastic job as Effie. She's
exactly the way I pictured her in the book, because when I saw her, I didn't see Elizabeth Banks. I just saw Effie Trinket. I'm just like, that's her.
Also, another great performance, I think, is worthy of Best Supporting Actor consideration, Woody Harrelson.
Yes! Once again, I love you, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
You really brought out the character Hamish, and I was just like, yes.
We applaud you, sir. We applaud you.
Very good. Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. You know him from Precious.
He did a great job, and for people who have read the books, you're going to love that they kept the gold eyeliner. It's just, it's perfectly there.
The first hour of the film was quite excellent. They executed it really well, adapting it to the screen. As far as emotions from the book go, I thought some of it was kind of lost in the shuffle. I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say when it gets to the death scenes of some of the characters, especially when the games actually start, there's kids getting killed left and right. It's kind of hard to feel an impact with it because, reading the book, your imagination is going wild. It's much darker than the movie. I kind of wish that there was an alternative cut, showing the actual deaths because, seeing someone get stabbed or maimed with, a sharp instrument or, a heavy object is does a lot for the viewer watching it because it's absolutely horrific. So if you tame that, then you get rid of all the emotions whatsoever that they were trying to achieve in the first place. But
I mean, it's still very brutal, and you're
yes,
just like, oh my god, they're
almost as brutal as a PG-13 film will let it. But I don't know.
It could have been more.
Yes, I will say there is one scene that almost got me choked up a bit, and it was at the very beginning when all the names are being announced. It's a gut wrenching scene. That entire sequence, I was like, tearing up. I was like, wow, this is powerful stuff, man. This, you actually do care about characters, and the movie just started. So
yeah, I actually like the fact that there wasn't a lot of musical distractions in the movie.
Yeah,
it really brought you into the games.
There was the Hunger Games soundtrack that was released a couple weeks ago, with songs by all these famous artists, Arcade Fire and what's her name, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Pretty good songs, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of worried like they will be integrated in the film somehow. I was like, how are they going to put these songs in the film? Like I could only think of it in the end credits, which they did. And I was glad that most of the entire movie is like hardly any music at all. So I thought that was quite interesting what they did. So
there are some parts I wish they had left in from the books, but
yeah,
give and take.
I usually hate it when people get really upset where the movie adaptation doesn't
reach their expectations.
Yeah, reach their expectations. Kind of like Harry Potter, everyone was like, oh, they left this out.
I'm sure another viewing of it will make me enjoy the movie more because I had just finished reading the first book, and so I was just like, wait a minute, no. And
yeah, that's what happens. But you gotta set aside the book. The book is the book, and the movie is the movie. Okay.
Yeah. All in all, it was a great film. Great performances. And a very great portrayal of the book. Most people will say they could have done better, but it's Suzanne Collins' visions, and what she says goes, and there's always the deleted scene.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I will give this movie an 8. And how about you?
And I would give this movie an 8 as well.
Really?
Yes. An 8.
So that concludes our show. I'm the host. This is our special guest, Angel Eyes. And we will see you next time on another Midnight Movie Madness.